Hi, Demetria. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I'm going to jump right into my first question for you. The world was introduced to you about 4 years ago when you were working as a news and traffic anchor at WFAA. Sadly, it was through a viral Facebook post from a woman who said that you were a quote unquote size 16, 18 woman in a size 6 dress. Chance the Rapper clapped back on your behalf and he said, Jan is big mad. Don't be like Jan. And of course, the rest is history. You were able to respond to that hate with such, grace and maturity. Have you always had that quality, or was that a skill that had to be developed over time?
Wow. Thank you so much for having me on the show, first and foremost, Jadriana. It's a pleasure to be here. But yeah, oh my gosh, rewind back to 2017. And yes, I always give much praise to Chance the Rapper because he stood next to me in solidarity when that woman tried to body shame me. But for me, it was really a big teaching moment, right? I get a lot of nasty things said about me, whether it be something about my natural hair not looking professional on television, or is it about my curvier figure and how that's not acceptable either. And so for me, I'm used to it. And I grew up in Kansas City. Like, I'm a city kid. We grew up playing dozens for a living. Every state has a different name for it, but that's just talking trash all day, every day. So I grew up a little rough, and I've got three brothers. So I can take the heat. I can be somebody's punching bag. But it was this huge teaching moment because cancel culture is very real, but I think that some people don't realize the harm and the things that they say. And when Chance the Rapper and millions of other people stood next to me in that moment, I felt the need to respond. I don't usually respond to nasty comments. I don't give them the time of day, but all of the love that I was receiving, I was like, I have to acknowledge these people for supporting me. And I also let people know, if you don't like the way that I look, this is the way that I was born, this is the natural hair that, I've always had, this is my body, you can change the channel. And that's okay. But you don't have to dish out all these nasty comments. And hopefully it was also a teaching lesson for anybody who's interested in getting in this field, or just anybody using social media. I mean, we're constantly just facing a barrage of negativity, and it's okay because you can power through that. And I hope that that was also a teaching lesson and an example for people who are dealing with the same types of negativity and hate. Just power on through, man. All right, because there's a brighter day ahead for you. Okay, and we don't succumb to that. No, we don't.
Yes, and I love that you said that you don't succumb to it, because a lot of people, especially on a national stage, can feel the urge to, clap back and be very disrespectful as well. But you have never done that, I don't think, in any instance with anyone. You always take the higher road and you always maintain your professionalism. And I think that, it says a lot about your character and your just ability to endure. So I love that you said that.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank
Another
you.
attribute Of course. Another attribute that made people instantly fall in love with you is your ability to flawlessly insert Black culture into your daily traffic reports and time on air. I'm sure a large part of your ability to do that is just your natural personality, but was there also like a direct intention behind that as well?
You know, I like to challenge the status quo of things, and there's this idea that professionalism looks one way. And for me, when I get into a job, I do the best I can at that job. I want to be the best traffic anchor. I want to be the best news anchor, the best reporter, right? And from there comes your value. And you can become a real asset to the place that you're working for. And from there, it's up to you. And for me, I love listening to hip hop music. And I have been criticized by bosses saying, wow, you're a news anchor. How could you be listening to the Migos or Lil Baby? And that's not acceptable for a news anchor. And I like to challenge that perspective and keep going. And because I was such an invaluable asset to the stations that I worked at, I could push that a little bit, right? I wouldn't recommend that anybody goes in, horns on, let's charge in. You have to earn that ability to have a voice, especially in that industry, and press on. That's that industry, right? But I'm trying to change it. I'm trying to be one of the pioneers, the trailblazers who can change this idea of what professionalism looks like so that other people won't be discriminated against based on the music that they listen to, the kind of hair that they have. It's that important to me, and it's not right, right? So I'm going to do everything that I can to change that. And it is difficult. And I've been in trouble many times. But like I said, I'm good at what I do. So it's like, what are you going to do? right? Because I put that much work into my career and put that much effort into what I put out there. It's that serious. Everything that I put out, all of the work that I've done, there's a long chain of work and steps to get to that level. So nothing taken lightly. But yes, we must challenge the status quo and change people's perspectives.
Yes, I love that. And that, you mentioned how you are great, you're amazing at what you
Well,
do, and that is
thank
you. Yeah, no, it's are. And, that precedes you and it allows you to walk into these spaces that are traditionally another way and be able to flip the box upside down and say, you know what, I want to bring some flavor into this space and I want other people to feel inspired by me to do the same. I think that is so inspirational. You can't not find the beauty in that. So thank you for even having the
responsibility.
courage.
It's a responsibility because there are other people who open doors so that I could even have a job in journalism. Okay, there are people who blaze that path before me. And what am I supposed to do? Just walk it, flippantly and not care and not do anything for the people who are going to come after me? I have a responsibility to hold that door open as well. When I have children, I don't want my son or my daughter looking at me and saying, Mom, do you think that I can get a job on TV because I have locks, I have natural curly hair, I have braids? You know what I mean? Those are real things that people say to me every single day, and we have to change that so people know that they are enough, they are good enough, and they can accomplish whatever they want if they set their mind to it and do the work.
Yes. So you've never been one for keeping yourself in a box. After your time at WFAA, you hosted the Sporting News podcast, and now you're one of the co-hosts for Black Girl Stuff on Revolt, an exciting female-driven talk show addressing important cultural topics and conversations. Can you tell us how this opportunity came about and what really pushed you to say, you know what, this is the next best step for me?
Oh man, I'm somebody who takes big risks, right? I have a lot of faith in myself and my ability to go and get it. And when I was leaving Dallas, I had opportunities to renew my contract, but nothing guaranteed on the other end. A lot of people wouldn't do that. They wouldn't leave their job if they don't have another job to go to right after that. But I did. I was like, I felt like this is the time to do it. The pandemic struck, and that was really rough. And so you go into super grind mode. So I was just churning out my own content, lots of commentary pieces, and just keeping my audience that I had accrued over the years engaged, right? Talking to my people. Like, I love talking to my peoples, right? And so from there, while I was doing that, I'm constantly looking for opportunities. This is not something that has just been passed to me like, here, Demetria, you got the golden ticket. Nothing in my life has been that way. People see my Instagram and like, oh, she's having such a great time. Everything's so easy, easy breezy. No, it's not. All right. There are probably lots of conversations behind some of the posts that you've seen, trouble that I've been in, right? Just trying to change the status quo of things. And this opportunity, I mean, there's a huge email chain behind this. There's dozens of DMs of me reaching out to people who worked at Revolt. And there's a woman, a television visionary that I've always wanted to work with. Her name is Monique Chenault. She's also the creator of Black Girl Stuff. And back in 2018, she approached me for a pilot of a show that she was developing. I couldn't do it at the time, but I, kept tabs on her. Okay, right? So I'm emailing her, always checking in with her. What do you got brewing over there, Monique? What's happening? And all of my contacts, right? Because you don't just stop when things get difficult. And the pandemic was extremely difficult for me. And I just kept going. And one day I get this email from Monique, basically from a chain letter of all these emails that I had sent from the previous year. Like, hey, Demetria, we think that there might be something that you could be good at here. So come out and audition for it. And I auditioned more than one time. All right. And I'd fly out to Atlanta whenever they needed me until we had the cast that we have now. And now I am one of the hosts of Black Girl Stuff. And I felt that this was a unique opportunity because Revolt, and also being Black owned, which is amazing and historic, I think that they prop up Black voices in an amazing way, and giving this privilege to the voiceless and giving this just opportunity to people like me, my co-host, and all of the other people who work at this amazing network. I mean, it's just amazing that you can truly be yourself. There's not been one time that anybody's ever tried to suppress my voice or say, oh, I don't know about this, Demetria. I am truly embraced at Revolt, and that's also what really, appealed to me about working at that network. And so that's why I was always like, I gotta figure out what Revolt's going on. What have they got in development? And so that's just a lot of grinding, as 2 Chainz would call it, grinding and timing. Okay, because you got to be ready when they throw the ball to you. And so
Yes, you got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I love that you spoke to two things, which is keeping tabs with your relationships, keeping up with people, seeing what they're doing, keeping those connections fresh, and being present. And you also spoke to not getting comfortable, always searching and looking for the next opportunity, seeing what's out there. You can't sit back and think that things are going to come to you. You have to actively put yourself out there and just see what's happening in the world, especially in this landscape of journalism and entertainment. It's always moving, and you have to be there,
it's
present.
not easy. It's not for the faint-hearted. And I feel like there's some people who would think that, oh, well, things are so easy, or, or try to discount my experiences and how hard I've worked. I've held a job since I was 16 years old. I was riding a bicycle to get to Target to get that paycheck, all right, to have some element of freedom and be able to, add to my savings and build. My student loans are in my name. Okay, ain't nobody pay for that but me. So I'm working, and I'm still working, and I'm not where I want to be yet. But I feel like there's this importance to being grateful as well in the process, because you can become really just lost in the sauce of things and working and trying to get to that next level and basing that next level on what it is to be happy. And that's not true. You have to find happiness in the journey, and you have to be grateful for the things that you do have and appreciate everything that you've done before. And because it's easy to forget. It's like, I'm at this level now, I got to get to the next one. But it's like, but look how far you've come. And you have to appreciate that and take a moment to, take your nice tea and just relax a little bit.
Yes. I love how you also spoke about Revolt being such a pro-Black platform. How has that transition been for you, coming from the corporate world, now being in this pro-Black space where you can be yourself, say what you want to say fully? How has that transition been?
I mean, I think it's been amazing. When I was in Dallas, when I was leaving, actually, I did this exit interview at one of the radio stations out there, and I think a lot of people at the station were expecting people to call in and say, oh, we're going to miss Demetria and those dresses she wears. But they were saying, no, thank you, Demetria, for giving our community a voice and standing up for us. And that right there, so rewarding. I was totally humbled and honored by that. And to work at a network who truly embraces that and encourages all of us to take a stand. I mean, it's in the name of the company, Revolt, right? And I love that. And I think that yes, definitely a pro-Black network, but I feel that sometimes when people hear pro-Black, they think anti-everything else, and that's not true. I think there are a lot of mysteries surrounding Black people from different demographics. And here we're dispelling a lot of the rumors, the stereotypes, and it's an invitation for everyone of all different backgrounds to join us and join the conversation and see who we are. There's this phrase that's always circulating around Revolt. We always say Black people are not monolithic, right? Okay, we're all different. So what you've seen in the media, the singular, stereotypes, the singular portrayals of Black people in movies and film and on TV shows, that's not 100% accurate, right? And so this is an invitation to join us at Revolt and see how we're all different and join the conversation. I mean, my 80-something-year-old white grandma loves to watch Black girl stuff because we're talking about relevant conversations that apply to us all. We're just giving a voice to Black women who, for the most part, have been put in a box. Our voices muffled, silenced for years, and we represent the millennial and Gen Z demographics. And so, we're taking over and stuff. So, tune in to think what these, find out what these young people are thinking.
Yes, yes. So, like you said, you guys are having these amazing conversations. So far on the show, you've discussed everything from foreplay to colorism to the state of Black life. And of course,
yes,
body
it's nighttime talk show. Yes.
yes, yes. And of course, body shaming has been another topic that you guys have delved into. And in listening to you, I can't help but really feel your passion for the issue. And I feel like you have such a strong voice and platform to be that person to speak to it. The other day on Instagram, you posted, quote, I stand for the rights of all women, all colors, all of our experiences are unique and they deserve to be heard. I know that right now you're in this chapter with Black Girl Stuff, but are you considering furthering your advocacy for women's issues as you embark on your future career moves?
Always, always. I think people shy away from the term feminist. But I am a feminist in its truest sense, right? I advocate for the equal rights of women everywhere. And it's so important to me. And in that statement, I was bringing attention to the different layers that non-white and black women experience when it comes to body shaming. Because there was a woman who said, hey, I'm white, I get body shamed. And I'm like, that's terrible. I'm sorry that you've had to experience that. And I stand with you on that, right? But there are other layers to it and other demographics that we all need to learn about, right? We all need to share our experiences so we understand where we're coming from, right? And not always comparing and saying, oh, that's not true because I didn't experience it. And so for me, I'm really focused on, just like I said, teaching moments, yeah? I'm not big on just shutting people out and, oh, you're stupid, you're racist for saying that was terrible. You know what I mean? I feel like we can grow together, and that's really important to me. But women's issues, hugely so. I mean, because I suffer from hyperthyroidism. That's something that a lot of women don't even know that they have, and it can affect your fertility. I mean, it can literally kill you if it goes unchecked for too long. Graves' disease is something that Wendy Williams suffers from. That's something that I have, that I've had to maintain over the years, the past 10 years. All right. And it's been really, really difficult. And I just know me as a woman, the things that I go through. I know a lot of other women are going through the same things. And so I'm an advocate for our health. When we think about maternal mortality rates and how Black mothers are dying in hospitals from preventable complications, and I give props to Queen Serena Williams for putting a spotlight on that as well. And so for me, working in this industry, the media, I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, women all the way. I love my women. I love my men too, right? But definitely pro women, women's health, women's everything.
Yes. So, for those that haven't tuned into Black Girl Stuff, why should they? And of course, where can we keep up with you?
Oh my goodness. Well, you should definitely be watching Black Girl Stuff. I mean, I think these perspectives are so valued. And as I was talking about before, there's this phrase that I see everywhere and I love it. Black people are not monolithic. And so you need to see us, right? And hear what we have to say because it's been muffled and there are a lot of preconceived notions about what a black woman is and what a black woman isn't. And we dispel a lot of that. And I feel that you can relate to us on so many different levels. You can be from another country, right? Totally different race, different age group, and learn something new. And for me, I'm always looking to learn something new. So don't shy away from the show because you're not a black girl. It's for everybody. Right? And it's so much fun. And I think that the little clips that I've posted on my page really prove that because half of it, men commenting galore. Grown men, went in on the conversation and it's important, okay? I'm always on social media, Demetria Obilor, TikTok, the Demetria Obilor. Just look up Demetria Obilor, you'll find me. But to watch Black Girl Stuff, you have to tune in Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Revolt TV. And also the next day, we post everything on the Revolt app and you can access all of our past episodes. Of course, you can check us out on streaming sites like YouTube and also your streaming channels from Roku and things like that. So check us out.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We're so happy to have you and to just be able to have this conversation with you. We're so excited to see where your career is going to take you and what other amazing things that you're going to do.
Well, thank you so much for the time. I really, truly appreciate it. This was an amazing conversation. So grateful to have had it with you.
Thank you.